Welcome to the 99th Monkey Liberty News for Tuesday, November 19th, 2013. Let's begin with a story from InfoWars. The October 2012 pre-election jobs report was faked. Enough said, right? And I will probably move through these fairly quickly because I do have a lot of links today. From RT, gas industry funded pro-fracking movie Truthland, tax filing reveals. I mention this as another cautionary tale, urging us to be careful what we believe. We can't believe movies that are presented as being neutral or documentaries just because of the money behind some of these things. Question everything. This article is rather sad because avocados are very healthy and very delicious, and unfortunately they come from a region in Mexico that is being overwhelmed by criminals who are trying to launder money by owning and just exacting money from farmers. Blood Avocados, the dark side of your guacamole. This is from a website called Avocados.com, and a drug cartel known as the Knights Templars brought kidnappings, murders, money laundering, and fear to surprise avocado business. This article, it doesn't take that long to read. I recommend it. I almost was tempted to read the whole thing out loud because it's very interesting, and it's a microcosm of how evil people move in and take over. And as bad as things are in Mexico, evidently, perhaps they are not that much worse than in America, because according to RT, number of Mexicans crossing U.S. border lowest in decades. So hey, if we could go go the other way and go over there, which by the way they don't permit, but we might prefer that. Find it a better place to live. Here is some evidence of what it's like to live and work in America from a website called Crooks and Liars. Walmart employees asked to donate to needy co-workers. Please donate food items here so associates in need can enjoy Thanksgiving dinner. This is really tragic, just evidence of Walmart. Walmart turned a profit of $15.7 billion last year, but they can't pay their employees enough so their employees can afford a Thanksgiving dinner without charity food being donated to them. The way I am helping Walmart employees is by shopping somewhere else so that other companies who treat their employees better fare better than Walmart does, and perhaps eventually we could be rid of Walmart in this country, and grocery stores and warehouse stores like Costco. Now I realize these are big conglomerates, many of them, and some of them have evil agendas even. But on the boots on the ground of these corporations get paid. Somebody told me that they have a friend who works at Costco. I think the average Costco employee makes between $35,000 and $45,000 a year. If you're making that amount of money, you probably can afford to buy a Thanksgiving dinner. Here's a website called U.S. Government Portal, and no, it's not a .gov. It's an informational website, online news, U.S. government agencies, and political leaders. I was looking for this article, Pentagon forged financial documents amid failure to manage budget investigation. Now, I found the article that I was looking for, and they have a lot of other articles too, repeats. They have references to like activist posts. So I am bookmarking this website But what I wanted to focus on here is Pentagon forged financial documents amid failure to manage budget. So more lies from the government, along with the fudged job numbers. Lying liars lie. We really need some kind of fundamental change in our government. And we need, what I'd like is a restoration of a constitutional republic. I'm sure that can be done in an orderly fashion, and that's what I'd like. I certainly don't want a bloody revolution or a civil war. But if our lawmakers really need to help us. And if they're unwilling, then our judges need to help us if they're unwilling. Maybe our military needs to help us. I don't know. Here from Blacklisted News, SOPA rides again. USA's secret TPP treaty outlaws phone jailbreaks and unlocking, introduces crazy copyright law. I typically don't get that deeply into Hollywood gossip, but I noticed this article this morning and I wanted to mention it. Brittany Murphy's dad tells GMA daughter was poisoned, and they had a chemical test done to Brittany's hair and found that she had been poisoned with 10 heavy metals in her system. So this is contrary to the official finding. The actress's father continues to challenge the LA coroner's ruling that she died of natural causes. There's speculation that she was, people kind of gossip about this and think that she was MK Ultra and that she was killed as part of a sacrifice, something along those lines. I don't see it that way necessarily. Because typically a girl's either father or husband would be her handler, and Brittany's father is the one blowing the whistle, and her husband was also killed. Well, I shouldn't say killed. He died a couple months after she did. Now, if she was poisoned, I would not be at all surprised if at some point we learned that he was poisoned. And who knows if they were going to, if they knew something they weren't supposed to know, if they were threatening to blow the whistle on something. It's difficult to even guess, and of course we can't know absolutely. And from David Icke, getting vaccinated is a civic duty, warn health experts. And it's kind of the time of the year people get flu shots, maybe a little late. Just want to reiterate how false of an idea, the premise that is, that you're protected by flu shots, first of all. And this is a false premise, too. People who are afraid of an illness and believe in vaccinations should get vaccinated. They believe that they're protected by the vaccine, right? Not by the fact that everybody is vaccinated. So this makes absolutely no sense to me that getting vaccinated is a civic duty, unless, they want to add a little something extra in the mix, and they have their own agenda having to do with that doesn't have anything to do with keeping you well. Here's kind of an interesting article. It's from henrymakow.com. A friend mentioned this to me. Porn is making men impotent. And honestly, this is a fascinating article. This is a lot of times I just skim and maybe read a few paragraphs from something. I read this entire article because I think it's really relevant, really significant that porn, women whose husbands have been involved in porn know the impact that it has on a marriage and can really be devastating. But this was intentionally done. The Illuminati separated sex from love and marriage and made porn readily available. As a consequence, many straight men have replaced women with images. Like many homosexuals, they have become jaded and need ever more perversity and drugs in order to respond. Real women and real love have become redundant to them. They are effectively gay in that they are addicted to sexual pleasure. Feminism was a depopulation program that psychologically neutered many women. Porn is its male counterpart. Another article that is well worth reading. If you are listening to Alex Jones today, you are aware that the airports are going to require a thumb scan when you leave the airport. And interestingly enough, however they amp up the security, there's bad people, evil people are always going to find a way to do what they want to do. Evil people will always find a way to facilitate their evil plans. And that is true, if you make firearms illegal, you take away the Second Amendment, the bad guys still have the guns. And as tight as airport security becomes, I shouldn't laugh, but I do find it funny. Researcher makes bombs, guns using airport gift shop items. Exploits huge security flaw, proving TSA's ineffectiveness. And for the good news of the day, Yahoo to encrypt all data flowing between its data centers by Q1 2014. And this is from a website called Ubergizmo. I think this is just great that Yahoo is responding. People want privacy, and we vote with our dollars. We can use the internet portals that are going to be more careful with our trust and give us more privacy. And I haven't used my Yahoo email account for a couple years, but I think I might just activate it again. Thanks for tuning in for today's news. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty.